Hi, everybody, and welcome back. My name's Melissa, and this year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. So, right now it is June 6th. I just did my daily video, and I realized something. So, even though all year I've been doing an itemized list of spending, so if I buy a dozen eggs, it says a dozen eggs. I mean, if I buy 3 dozen eggs at the same time, then I'll say a dozen eggs times 3, and then the amount I spent. And I do monthly totals and stuff. But I've noticed something. I am realizing how much I regularly spend. And you don't think about it necessarily because it goes by each day. And you're like, "Oh, I spent a lot today. Oh, whatever." But I have spent what did it say? Oh shoot, I put the book over there. Okay, I have spent $194.66 in 6 days. That's a lot of money. Granted, some were just the one was a random expenditure that is only a once every 6 months thing. So I guess if you take that out, you're looking at 102. But that's still what, $10 to $20 a day? It's 15-ish dollars a day, maybe 30, over 15. So 18-ish maybe. I don't know. We'll say 18. I'm guessing. I don't have the energy to do the math, but that's a lot of money. And granted, a lot of it for me is going to gas because I do work in a delivery position, and so I have to both drive to territory and then I have to drive during the day. So I do go through a lot of gas. I have probably spent what, 70-ish dollars in gas so far this week. So trying not to get too upset about that, but if you every day, I really wonder if maybe checkbooks were why our parents had such an easy time. Not only did they have to pay cash or write checks with money that they actually had in their account, they had to keep a register that was constantly running, and they had to constantly balance that checkbook. So if they went and they wrote a check to buy groceries, they had to write and see their balance go down immediately. And even though, I mean, now it's all electronic and everything, I feel like that constantly watching it may have actually been helpful. I mean, maybe if we all went back to writing checks, we would be a little bit more money conscious. But there's something about that, and I wonder if that helped our parents and our parents' parents, that whole check thing. Because for those of you who don't know, I know most of y'all are my age or older, so hang on a minute. It's like this register, and it was in your checkbook. I wish I had mine by me. I would show you, but it would have the date, the type of transaction, or it used to be a type of transaction, or check number. I'm guessing that it was check number before I, or it could be deposit. And then you would write, what it was, who it was to. It was to, Kroger grocery store or whatever. And then you would write the amount that you withdrew or the amount you deposited, depending. You could write paycheck, and then it would go in the deposit column, and then you would add or subtract from the running balance that would be on the opposite side. I don't know if this is going to line up for you or not. I mean, I'm doing it the opposite way, so I'm really hoping it reflects back the right way. But you would know. You could look and you could say, "Oh, I have $1,000 in the bank, and I just spent $50 on groceries under the week. I only have $950 left now." And I feel like that kind of makes it very real. And in our world of electronic payments and credit cards and Apple Pay and everything just linked electronically, I feel like we've kind of lost that sense. And I feel like with the way I'm doing the no buy month and adding it, like, so every day I kind of do this. I'll show you this page because I didn't get a chance to journal today yet, but I do the, the running weight loss, but I also do like uh, how much I had spent before, how much I spent today. I forgot to fill in the today's number, and then how much I spent total. And so I can look back and I can say by June 6th, I had spent $194 and I think it was 66 cents. And that's a lot of money. And so I feel like by writing it down, by the physical act, and I mean, for me, I feel like, because I have a spreadsheet running, I feel like the physical act of physically writing, and this could definitely be a me thing because I had tried multiple online food diary things, the Samsung Health app, and I had tried Noom, and I had tried a couple of other apps, and I tried putting it in the computer, and none of them worked for me. Like the actual physical act of writing, putting pen to paper and writing it in a physical journal. And so the pen to paper thing may definitely be a me thing. It may be a age thing too. I mean, I grew up that way. It could have something to do with like the sensory, the emotion, any number of things. Like maybe if I was 15, a computer would feel more natural, but it doesn't. I mean, not that it feels unnatural, but it doesn't feel like real, like it does with the writing it down. So if you notice that your money just seems to be disappearing and you don't know where, in addition to keeping like an itemized spending list, like a spreadsheet or something, so you know where it's all going physically, start every day keeping a log, like an old-fashioned checkbook register or something, and really thinking about your spending, because I think that's the other thing too. Like I said in my video, I didn't want to have to buy this. I knew I had to because, the other option was for the door to flip off its tracks at some point this month, and well, that's just not a good choice. So yeah, I had to buy that, and I wasn't thrilled about it, but really being mindful of my spending and writing it all down and writing down, how much I spent, and whether, I mean, go back to like keep your checkbook register, because the thing is that I used to do that, and I will admit I am horrible about it now, because what I do, it's not that I don't keep track of my spending at all, it's just that instead of doing it in the checkbook, I check in the app every day and make sure that things have cleared, or that deposits have been made, or that the credit card debit is right. Because, like, if you get like gas, it'll either say like $50 or $1 or $100 or whatever until it processes through all the way. So I'll make sure all of those are correct. But I mean, really, it is insane to me that, oh shoot, I think I have to pay my credit card bill today. I think I forgot. I have to check. I really should have them move it, because I always forget on this new credit card because it doesn't line up with all the other ones. So it's like weird, like it states. So anyways, I highly recommend that you keep your list of what you are spending each and every day. And even though we can so quickly just look, when it's all just on a computer screen, I feel like it's kind of taking away from the realness of it. Back in the day when we had to give away our hard-earned cash and literally physically watch that pile of money go down, when we had to write a check and have it come out of the money we have available, and we saw that, and we physically had to write it and physically had to do the math and see that balance go down. I feel like that really kept us cognizant. It was really a matter of mindfulness about spending. And if you are one of like the older people, like, like me, if you're like Gen X or was it Gen X Boomer, maybe some elder millennials might remember it. Silent Gen, if you happen to be greatest Gen, you know, if you remember the whole having a checkbook and having to, you know, keep a running balance and reconcile it every month and make sure everything was right. I want you to seriously like think about it in your head. If you've gotten rid of that, like if you've gone to the credit card, debit card, all of that, and you're no longer using the cash and you're no longer writing checks. I mean, I write it for like what my taxes, my HOA fees, a few things. If you're no longer doing those things, I want you to think about it. And I want you to tell me if you think that no longer using the checkbook has made you less aware of your spending and having it all online. Because I mean, even when I had a debit card back in the day, I still had to write it in the checkbook. Most of my it was pretty much DDC because like deposit, debit card, deposit, debit card, and you know, I still had to write it. So even with like the being able to swipe, the writing it down, that action of writing it down and really being aware of how my spending was definitely helped in some ways. And like I said, this no buy month and the factor that I'm keeping a running balance has made me hyper aware of my spending. So if you notice your spending is out of control, or even if you don't notice, like I was a bit shocked when I did May's balance at the end of the month, and I am kind of shocked at how much I've spent already this month. So write it down and write it down every day and think about it every day and really think about how you're spending your money, what you're spending it on, and just be hyper aware. Anyways, again, my name's Melissa. This year I'm sharing 365 tips for frugal living. If you want to hear more, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.